Hello, good morning to you. Welcome. It's Talkin really here, and thank you for coming to watch this video. Now, you'll be very intrigued to know what Regulation 19 means to you. If you're going through the managed migration from ESA to UC, then you will be going through that. You need to know about this because it is very, very important. This regulation means that you do not have to provide a fit note. Right? Remember, if you claim UC and you're going to claim a disability or an illness, you need to provide fit notes again. No, you don't. If you're on the managed migration, then you don't have to. Under the law, this is the Universal Credit Transitional Provisions Regulations 2014. Regulation 19 says that you must be treated the same under universal credit, meaning your work capability assessment decisions, they carry over. So you've already had the assessment and you don't need to have another one, and the only thing that you need to provide, if you haven't got it, is to provide fit notes. So you don't need it. You don't need to provide them, but unfortunately the DWP don't follow what they're supposed to do. The law. It's the law of the land, and unfortunately, a lot of people, when they are forced this forced transfer, this migration, technically speaking, if you're in the WRAG group or you're in the support group, you do not need to provide this fit note. So please bear that in mind. And of course, you can quote the regulations. If they do say, well, you've got to have one or we're not going to pay you, then unfortunately, they are actually breaking their own laws. Now, so I thought I'd show you this because it's quite important. No other channel I can think of has mentioned this, as far as I know. It is very useful information. I know a lot of people who have gone through this migration, or they are about to go through this migration. They've either come off worse, i.e. less money, or they've got more money, or basically it's been a total farce. And I think that the number of people that's been a total farce outweigh those that have gone through with no problem. Now, there is a tweet which I'm going to show you. This is Dr. J. Watts. Dr. J. Watts is a consultant clinical psychologist, activist, neuroqueer, blue stocking, I don't know what that means, former lived experience worker, future failed poet, and will question ideology for cake. Apparently that's a profile. I don't know exactly who she is, but she has done this post, and I thought that it would be quite interesting to have a look at it. Wrong one. It is on Twitter, of course. It's on X. So if you're not an X fan, then you won't be able to read it. Well, you really can read it. I mean, I can put a post down below and you go and read it. You don't have to be signed up for this, but we'll go through. This is a reminder. If you're going through the forced migration, you don't need to provide, if you're in the RAG or support group, you don't need to provide fit notes. CAB are very good with managed migration, so you might want to give them a call. 0800 144 8848. That's this CAB advice line. And in Wales, 0800 702 2020. And there is, if you're hard of hearing or you can't speak, there is a speakerphone relay. It's a Relay UK, and you search and type what you want. That's obviously connected to them. 18001, and then the advice line number that you want to call. So what does it say? Well, the regulation there you can see is as quoted. And some of the other comments you can see there, I'm being forced to. It's added stress and anxiety I don't need. I was so worried I made myself unwell, and I just DM'd another lady. It went so much smoother than I expected. I advised quoting the DWP rules as advised by Benefits and Work website. Also, be honest. If it's making you more mentally unwell, then tell them. I had my first payment and I completely missed the transitional protection payment amount. So there is a classic example where somebody's got less than they should have. I checked with the CAB and left a note in my journal. Then a week later left another journal message and they finally agreed that the transitional payment was missing. If you're in the support group and contributory, that's ESA contributions, you can keep it completely separate. This means it won't be means tested and it will still come every 2 weeks. Yes, I have been forced onto UC by migration. Hilarious what proof they need. They want 3 from me and 2 for them, and it's and considering that they've been on it for a while and the circumstances have not changed, which is quite often the case. They are still cutting our money. Anyone who was to group severe disability ESA, which they aren't supposed to be doing, did they just decide to ignore the High Court? Yes, they did. I just did it. They asked for a fit note, but I put in a little note saying I didn't think I had to, blah blah blah, and it was sorted very quickly. 4 months in, I'm still getting part ESA, yet I yet to receive the same amount every month, on any month. I'm so worried about this. I'm currently in a support group with disability premium. I can work 13 hours per week, permitted work. Not had my notice for migration yet. I honestly didn't realise that I would have to basically reapply. Yes, remember, don't go over to UC voluntarily. There's no transitional protection. Wait for your migration letter if you ever get one. And remember, if you're on ESA contributions, there's no reason why you should transfer. It's not being transferred. My ESA gives me the disability premium, which means I get the majority of my rent covered as it's risen. Will this now stop? I'm scared of losing the money that allows me to keep my independence and stability. There is a cap, which I discovered, which I will try and do a video about, but there is a total cap that you can sort of go past it very easily on UC. It's not only is it the child cap, it's also a benefit cap, so that will include rent, housing benefit. Lost out on a month's worth with LCW, that should be LCW of UC, as I didn't know about needing a sick note, couldn't get in GP, they wouldn't backdate it, and not part of the support group, as it was on working tax credits. How does anyone survive 4 to 5 weeks as specified on all the blurb? Feels like more like a communist country than Big Brother. Yes, it's Labour, isn't it? I followed this advice from you when I was going through forced migration. They asked for fit notes and I refused, and even got my MP involved. Thank you. I never had known if I hadn't seen your tweet last year. And lots of other comments there which you can read in the tweet itself. So Regulation 19, very important to know if you're going to go through this migration. But please wait for your migration letter before you do anything. Also remember that whatever you apply, the date that you apply for your transfer will be your date that you get your money. So you may need to work out when you need your money, like beginning of the month or end of the month, and then apply then. Don't sort of randomly apply, because that will be your day. So if you choose, like, I don't know, the 13th of the month and you apply, that will be your payday. So it could make your life difficult, and you cannot change it. So bear that in mind if you're applying. Right, I'm going to leave it there. I hope it was useful for you. And of course, as I always say, please do not panic. Nothing's happened yet. It's not come in and you haven't been transferred. So think positive. And of course, I'm pretty certain that hardly any channels out there will tell you about this. So hopefully you can give me a thumbs up for that information. And don't forget, like, share and subscribe. Have a good day. Bye for now.